Welcome back to the Just Economy Podcast. Our guest today, Dr. Tisa Thomson. She owns MC3 Consulting, as well as she just became a published author with a brand new book, The Change Hack Code.
That's it.
You can be able to go online and get it, and we'll talk about how to contact you and how to get it here in a few.
Okay.
But let's move into the book.
Yes.
Okay, so I've known, like I say, that I've known Tisa for a very, very long time, and she's always had, like I said, been a great advisor and been a great friend as far as helping me get through some things, especially in navigating my executive director role. So, what made you want to write the book?
So, the thing is, I wanted to address transformation in a different way. I wanted change not to mean chaos. Okay, so
That's usually what it means.
for me and in my entire life, the book is a little bit of reflection on my own life. It has a lot of good case examples, but it's practical and it has a method to dealing with change. I feel like the world we are in today, we're in constant change. We're like in flux all the time. You wake up and there may be new news that you have to like get yourself prepared to deal with. And this really touched my heart back in 2020. I dealt with a number of things. Like I said, the book has a lot of reflections on my own life, but also on others who have shared with me their transformational sort of journey. And I was dealing with a health issue. I was dealing with the loss of my brother. I was dealing with a national pandemic, right? A worldwide pandemic. I'm sorry, not national. And then I actually decided to run for office. So all of these things had a tremendous impact on me, and I felt like, I think even from being a kid, like really seeing people go through changes and really not have a way to really deal with it and to have a system or a method that would really work for people. And this is why I came up with the Change Hack Code. People are like, "What? Why would you name a book the Change Hack Code?" Right? But it is really trying to get to a place where you feel like you can hack change, like you can really get through change without the chaos and without the difficulty. So the method I talk about in the book is called appraise, adapt, achieve. And so appraise is really learning to get clarity. So the assessor in me, the evaluator in me, right? That part is brought through the appraise part of the method. Then you're going to adapt. So you're actually like learning how to deal with the change, right? And after you get the clarity of what is going on, you start to adapt to what are some of the changes that are happening and how can I benefit from them. So it's not just a negative experience. And then you achieve. And achieve isn't really accolades. It's really about is the change aligned with your values? Is it going to be something that you're going to be able to sustain? Because if it's not aligned with you, you're probably going to let it go, right? Or the change is not going to remain. And ever since I, like I said, was a child and kind of saw all of that, people going through change and not having a method and really having negative transformational occurrences in their life, I think that's what brought me to social work. That's what brought me to, wanting to come up with a way to make this easier for all of us. And so that's where the Change Hack Code comes in. It's really a toolkit. Again, really practical. I love the fact that I was able to include a lot of case studies and some people I know names have been changed
To protect the innocent.
Yes, that's right. But the sentiment, the emotion, the energy of what they experienced during a change is shared there. And then the other part I really love about the book is I ask a lot of reflection prompts. So there's some quotes in the book. There's reflection prompts that'll hey, wait a minute, let's stop for a second and give you a chance to really absorb what you just read, and how does that apply to you. And so it's really a journey, a labor of love.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
It sounds like
Yeah,
it. That's a lot.
yeah.
So I know that it's always hard to adapt to change, and as you stated earlier, change, when you're doing change, it usually comes. It's always chaotic, and I use my military career having to adapt to change quite a bit.
Right.
In the military, you get, it's always chaos until everybody tries to finally things calm down. But the first months or weeks or even minutes,
Right.
Depending on what we were doing, it was chaos. So you're it sounds like the premise is to get us out of that chaos and have some type of structure
Yes.
to address change.
Yes. So because we're in that constant state of change, and that the fact that not only are we physically reacting to it, we're emotionally reacting to it. We are, it is all encompassing sometimes, and I think that is can be very distracting for you to be able to like just navigate life. And so with this, you have a method, you have a way of thinking about, okay, now how do I get through this change? How can I grow through it? And I think that that's really important to me. So people see it as an opportunity for growth and not just a negative, chaotic thing.
Yeah, because when we think about chaos, the first thing we think about is negativity.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That this is going to be, it's going to be crazy, and I hope I get through it. But I have no
What's the word?
Code,
right?
or no formal way of getting me through that,
Right.
because change is going to come. It's inevitable.
Right.
But how do I manage myself, and how do I get through it from time to time?
Yeah.
But it sounds like what you're saying to me is that, but have a defined method, so it's not so chaotic for me when I go through it.
Right.
And when I'm standing on the brink of that change, okay, I have my method.
Right.
Here's how I'm going to go through it. Right.
Right, exactly. And I think with that, with the ability to have clarity, with the ability to learn what are your best adaptive techniques and traits that you can actually continue to use, and then figuring out, is this change aligned with who I really want to be? This. I think as you get older, you have a greater sense of that alignment, and that's what's going to be important for you. So I think having that as part of the method, so each part has their own role to play, and that's what I really like about this method.
And so you're asking us to use what we got,
Yeah.
right, to get there. You're not asking us to do it to have pull something that we're not comfortable with out of thin air and try to do it that way.
Yeah.
You're saying is to use our own values, our own ways, but to put down, actually have a code in which to follow, a path rather in which to follow.
Yeah. It sounds complicated, but it's really simple.
No, it's really simple.
It's really simple. And, I think once folks get an opportunity to read the book, to look at the method and say, this makes sense. A lot of times when I was teaching in the school of social work, talking about how our clients experience change and how, they can't negotiate some of the things that are happening to them, and as a result they shut down, or they use substances, or there's a variety of ways that you can choose to cope with change. And I always talked about there is an actual stages of change, right? And so we talked about how that could impact and influence how they work with someone when they're experiencing change. And I love that. For me as a social worker, understanding that was like a critical point, because it wasn't about me anymore. It wasn't about okay, I'm going to help this client do what they need to do. It's about, can the client actually, are they ready for change? Are they ready to negotiate some of these things? So change readiness is a huge part of this discussion. And it's one of the things that, that I wanted to include in. So you have the book, you have a workbook that has a lot of assessment tools that will walk you through each of the stages, and how you get to understanding what is your true identity in change and how you deal with it. A lot of it goes back to your childhood or to when you were younger and how you experienced change, and that influences how you see it from now on, right?
And are evolving as far as change is concerned, because as we get older, we definitely evolve.
Yes.
I don't approach change now the same way I did when I was in my 30s or even my 40s.
Yeah.
I don't approach it the same way. I can look in the mirror and see how I've changed, really, and how I've grown a little bit. So putting us on that path and having that path set and not being all over the place trying to figure it out. I'll do it this way one time for this change, and then the next time there's a change, I do it another way, and none of those ways are working.
Right. we want to establish some good working rules around how you deal with change, and this method gives you the opportunity to do that.
So I noticed on the website you can be a change agent.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So tell us about that.
Okay. So I wanted to be very practical and not just, okay, change on your own. That's great. You go over there, read the book, and you change. I wanted this to be a community. So I made the Change Hack Collective, which is really how I'm bringing all of this stuff together. So the book, the companion workbook, we have affirmation cards. We have all of these things that are there and tools to help you. We'll have free tools on the collective side, so you're able to sign up for the collective. I didn't do it on a social media platform because I wanted it to be private, and I wanted it to be a place where people felt free to, talk about the challenges they're still having with change and how they're maybe using the tools to help get them through that. So the Change Hack Collective was born, and that's a totally different business to MC3, but they actually align very well.
It does.
Yeah, it really does, because the method falls really in line with a lot of the work that I'm already doing with MC3. And so I'm bringing all of that experience and background into this community building and being an author and being able to share my voice and all the tools that I think are going to be really relevant and important.
Well, we definitely thank you for giving us a path and giving us a set of rules. I shouldn't say set of rules. Maybe
it's a method. It's a method.
Giving us a method in order to embrace change, attack change, challenge change, work for change. All those things that we have to, as that we all have to do as far as those concerned in dealing with change.
Right.
It can be a difficult process, and not just a process of just take a deep breath and try to work through it.
Right.
And that's where you end up. I think you end up all willy nilly trying to cover 25 bases at once, and none of us can do that.
Yeah.
So, I have enough trouble trying to cover just one. So, having a method in which to help guide me that does not tell me what to do, but helps guide me. In other words, using my feelings, my values, my thoughts, and how I embrace change in whatever shape, form, or fashion.
Absolutely. Right? It's funny because I actually have a quote in the book from Oprah. And Oprah talks about, if you change your mindset, your whole world can change. Well, that's partly true, right? I feel like just changing your mindset is not enough.
A whole lot that goes with that.
Yeah, exactly. And you have to, I think with having a method gives you opportunity to explore other things that would help you to get through that change. And there's so much, the entire world is changing all the time. And that's really, to me, this is my love letter to the world, saying, hey, you can get through this. You can get through this point in time and get you to a place. So,
well, the world definitely needs love letters these days.
Love it.
So, I have one final question before we talk about how you can get the book and engage MC3, and that is the question I ask all my guests. So if I gave you all the power in the world, what would you do with it?
So I would sprinkle a little change aptitude, little change readiness into everybody's life so they have the ability to do this. I would give everyone the budget they wanted.
Oh yeah, okay. I love
Yeah,
you already.
yeah. So let's not forget that change and all the things, the transformations that we need, sometimes require you to have resources, and
Sure.
so I love that. And then the last thing I would do is I'd make it okay to rest.
Wow.
So let me explain that one, okay?
I think I understand
You got
what
it.
you're saying,
You got it.
but I want
Because-
you to explain it
okay,
for the folks out there.
For me, again, I grew up in a community where I'm from the West Indies, right? I'm from Trinidad, and my whole life I've been just going, and I feel like sometimes we need to rest. And so, if I had all the power in the world, I'd give everyone an opportunity to rest.
That's a powerful idea, because especially in this country, we don't do that well. We don't rest well, I don't think. Even when we're supposedly resting, we're still thinking about work.
Yes.
That's why we can't stay off our phones, can't stay off our computers. You go on vacation, but you still checking in on your email,
Right.
even though everybody knows that you're gone, because you got the little email thingy saying, "Okay, I'm going to be out of
Out of office.
out of office," but I'm not really out of office. I'm guilty myself,
Okay.
and take it from a reformed workaholic. You still check your email, still take your work laptop with you,
Right,
and you're
right.
supposed to be on vacation.
Right.
When we just, and I love that so much, is that give everybody the opportunity to rest. I think all of us deserve that. I mean, you guys are working so hard and doing so many great things in the community that you deserve the opportunity to rest as well. So, tell us how we can contact both MC3 and the book.
Okay, awesome. So I'm Dr. Tisa Thomson. I am on all social media platforms as such, and MC3 has its own website. It's MC3 Inc. I'm sorry, MC3consultinginc.com. And then you can reach out to us there for any of your evaluation, community-based research, or strategic planning needs. And then you can also reach me at the Change Hack Collective. So it's changehackcollective.com, and that's where you can order the book. The workbook, we have it on audio file, so you can download it as an EPUB as well. So if you like a Kindle or electronic book format, you can do it that way. We have the Change Hack Collective, which is a group that you can sign up for, that you will get notifications and newsletters and information on freebies and things that we're doing. We're doing workshops, and it's not just about individual change, but also about organizational change. So I stress and hope that the community and organizations will reach out to us as well.
Thank you so much. Today on the Just Economy podcast, we've had as our very special guest, Dr. Tisa Thomson, owner of MC3 Consulting, brand new author of the Change Hack Code. Please get your copy. Mine is on the way.
Yes.
Please get your copy, and let's work on how we adjust and adapt to change. Dr. Tisa McGee is one of my great friends. We've known each other for many, many years. She's a professor, author, community advisor, and small business owner. So thank you so much, Dr. Thomson, for coming in and talking to the people and getting your message out. We greatly appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So again, this has been the Just Economy podcast. Couple of notes. The Community Reinvestment Alliance of Florida event is coming soon. We're back again, May 14th. We're going to be again at Gulfstream Park. Summit 2026. I can't believe it already. Anyway, May 14th, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., we're going to be at Gulfstream Park, the King of Sport of Kings room again. And so we look forward to seeing you all there. This is going to be a one that's definitely under stress with all the things that are going on especially in the nonprofit and financial institution world. So we look forward to seeing you there. And we want to thank Dr. Tisa Thomson again. And we look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for tuning in to the Just Economy Podcast. See you soon.
And transform, come from the people, the community, always present.